Okay, Michael.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for attending. Just want to introduce our presenters today. First, Susan Keller. She is the manager of caringcommunity.org website, as well as the executive director of Community Network for Appropriate Technologies. She has a long history of advocating for advanced care planning and supportive care for people living with serious illness, including mental challenges. And she is the facilitator for developing the Making a Plan program, which we're going to be learning about today. And then Carol West, she is a longstanding advocate for peer support specialists and community health workers within our county and statewide. Many of you are probably aware that she's the former assistant manager of the Petaluma Peer Recovery Center, which is one of our sister centers down in Petaluma. You may not be aware, though, that Carol is also a member of the Sonoma County Mental Health Board representing South County. And she is the project assistant with the MAP program, and she's been in that role for 2 years now. So thank you both for coming to tell us about the program. And Susan, go ahead whenever you're ready.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm going to put this in share screen so you all can see the PowerPoint. And then let's see. So thanks for the introduction, Michael. It's nice to see so many familiar faces here today. And thanks too to Michael, Sean, and Danette for this opportunity and the ongoing support making all this good work possible. We are here today to tell you about a new program that West County Community Services is launching with the peer centers and the behavioral health peer pilot program. This new program will train and support peer support specialists working in peer centers. It will empower staff to assist peer center members interested to do advanced care planning and with mental health care in mind. This will all be done using the Making a Plan toolkit created here in Sonoma County with and for peers. Let's see here. I get my slides working. Today, Carol and I will be doing a short orientation to help you learn what this program is about and why we are doing it. I'm going to talk about the importance of us all doing advanced care planning and tell you a bit about the Making a Plan toolkit. Then Carol will let you know about the logistics for doing the Making a Plan facilitators training and the new service to be provided by participating peer centers. Before I begin, I would like to tell you who has been working together to develop this program. For phase one, when we were creating the toolkit, it was a collaboration between the County Behavioral Health Division, my organization, Community Network Journey Project, Goodwill, which at the time operated the peer centers, and the Coalition for Compassionate Care of California, which is a leader in advanced care planning and palliative care for the state. The peer center leaders assisting with this phase included Interlink, Sean Kelson, and Kate Roberge from the Advocacy Center. Michael was at that time director of the Russian River Center, and then Carol was out in Petaluma. For the second phase of the project, which is where we were working on creating the tools and training that we're going to introduce to you today. The people involved are listed up here, and I'm sure many of them are familiar to you. And then we also had people in the wings like Sean Kelson and others that were Kathy Tunstall, looking over our shoulder and chipping in whenever they felt they had something to contribute. So I think who we are tells you how important this is for all of us. My guess is that each of us here have experienced advanced care planning in one way or another, like doing the Wellness Recovery Action Plan or maybe using an advanced healthcare directive with a family member. What this work we're telling you about today focuses on is doing advanced care planning with mental health in mind, and doing that in a manner that's recognized by law across the healthcare continuum using an advanced healthcare directive. So an advanced healthcare directive may be something you're familiar with, but if not, here's a kind of a snapshot view of what that is. It's a legal document recognized by law that health providers must honor to the best of their ability. It says who can speak for you when your doctor, with your doctor or other healthcare providers when you can't speak for yourself. That person is a designated healthcare agent, and their job is to stand in your shoes and guide care in the manner that you previously had told them that you want to have done. It has your choices about care you desire when seriously ill, incapacitated, or at life's end. And it can include choices about mental health care. It helps guide the doctor and others as to what kind of care you want. As I said earlier, it gives your healthcare agent legal standing, and it protects the healthcare provider from liability when they're following the patient's wishes as expressed in the advanced directive. Now, if a person does not have somebody to name as a health agent, it's really important to do this anyway, because the advanced directive gives instruction about the care that's desired when a person's unable to guide their own care. And so it's important to do even if you have no one to name to that position. So what we are talking about is how to get the care that we need and no more, and the care that we want and no less when we can't speak for ourselves. As this slide illustrates, when we have no plan and the plan is unclear, the default is to treat aggressively. Hope is not a plan. Healthcare professionals are trained to do everything possible when a person's care wishes are not known. So why advanced care planning is important? It prepares us for difficult decisions ahead of the crisis, including a mental health crisis, gives instruction for the care that reflects a person's goals, wishes, values, beliefs, and medical reality. So it's very personal to the individual. It ensures a match between the person's goals and the medical treatment provided. It facilitates communicating choices to those who need to know, such as your advocates, health agents, family, health providers, clinicians, crisis care team, and others. I know when we were meeting with staff out at the river when Michael was out there yet, the staff saw tremendous value in even having the sheriff's substation having a copy of such a directive, so they knew what to do if there was a mental health crisis for somebody that they would have to be caring for. And Eric too, for the jail, felt that too. So it enables us to exercise our right to make our wishes known and have wishes honored as protected by law. And in all of this, conversations are key. This is why advanced care planning is so important for all of us to do. It is how any of us can achieve the best possible care in times of crisis when seriously ill or at life's end, as I've said. And that's what this new program is all about, empowering people to do just that. Now, I'd like to give you a little background about this all and then review what is in the Making a Plan Toolkit. In the early 1990s, the federal and California law established our individual right to have our healthcare wishes known and honored through use of the Advanced Healthcare Directive, also known as the Advanced Directive. This right exists for anyone 18 years or older who has capacity. Capacity means that the person has the ability to understand what is being said or done and make their own decisions. Routinely, the Advanced Directive was being used concerning physical health, but seldom was it used concerning mental health. This reality led to the development of the Making a Plan Toolkit and the Making a Plan Facilitators program we're talking about today. The Making a Plan Toolkit includes a workbook and forms and a mental health supportive care plan. Worksheets are provided to help think about things that matter. Within the forms are an advanced directive that is user-friendly and easy to complete for designating a healthcare agent and care desired, including mental health care. A mental health supportive care plan lets us clarify the care we want and do not want to help prevent or navigate a mental health crisis. I'm going to just take a minute here to look. Here are some excerpts from the mental health supportive care plan that's part of our Making a Plan Toolkit. So these are the kinds of issues that are addressed in there, where people can express things that would be helpful to their advocate or health provider. So they knew, for instance, what triggers a mental health crisis, what early warning signs might be, what things are difficult that could make the crisis worse, and so on, as you see in this slide here. So this is in a separate mental health care plan, but then when we attach that to the Advanced Directive, it becomes a part of our legal document to guide our care. The Making a Plan Toolkit also includes personal requests form so that we can talk about what our wishes are if we're unable to take care of our belongings. Who looks after our animals and pets, or be sure that the workplace knows that we're not able to come in, or any of those kinds of things. So that's in the personal request form. Together, these MAP Toolkit documents help ensure a person's care wishes are known and honored to the greatest extent possible when able to act on their own in this regard. The MAP Toolkit was created by work I did with Kate Roberge, Sean Kelson, and the older adult team there at the Behavioral Health Division, who were all worked together to help figure this out a few years back. Since then, we were joined by many peers and health professionals, including Michael and Carol, helping to bring us to where we are today. We are now ready to launch the Making a Plan program with West County Community Services, including the MAP facilitator training with peer centers. This orientation today is the first, actually we did one over at Interlink too, but these orientations are what we're doing to help get this underway, and we thank you for your interest. Before I close, I want to note that individuals can complete the MAP Toolkit on their own. The toolkit and related training materials are easily accessible on our caringcommunity.org website, including electronically fillable forms. We know it really helps to have someone to talk things over in the course of making a plan. That's why we created the Making a Plan facilitator training and peer center program to engage peers, helping peers do MAP for themselves. Now, Carol will tell you how this will be rolling out with peer centers. And then after that, we'll take some questions and comments. And before Carol begins, I really must say, we are so fortunate to have Carol helping with this all, given her leadership role as a peer support specialist, working to grow and strengthen the peer support movement and utilization in our healthcare community. Carol?
Yeah, thanks, Susan. So gosh, what a long journey, but here we are. So West County Services has asked the Making a Plan program to provide training and support for the peer centers wanting to do care planning with mental health in mind. Selected peer center staff already trained as peer support specialists will have the opportunity to become Making a Plan facilitators, assisting members using the Making the Plan toolkit. Danette has been working with Susan to help set this up and will take the training. Sean will be recruiting one other center staff to do this as part of their work. And earlier this month, Interlink did the same all staff training as we're doing today. They're also planning to do the Making a Plan facilitator training, and NAMI has interest as well. The training to become a MAP facilitator is a total of 5 hours over 3 sessions with an additional 1.5 hours of homework to review materials. Training will be done by Zoom late March to mid-April with Susan and I as the trainers. Later in April, to help launch the program, we will do a MAP program orientation for center members. By appointment, facilitators will then assist interested center members to use the materials found in the Making a Plan toolkit, and they will provide guidance about distributing completed MAP documents to those who must have them in order to know the person's wishes when the person is unable to direct their own care. Susan is providing technical assistance and support through June for the center managers and the MAP facilitators trained. In the future, we expect this training will also be offered for CEUs and meet requirements to retain certification as peer support specialists. If you want to see a MAP toolkit, you can get a copy from Danette or on the website caringcommunity.org. Susan will now take questions and welcome any comments from any of you may have, and we really appreciate you being here to find out about this important program.
Thank you, Carol. So we'll open it up to any questions and comments that people might have. Yeah, Sean.
I just want to say thank you so much for the presentation and the overview. I know that this has been work going on for many years, and your dedication to it, I really want to praise. And I look forward to seeing how this rolls out, and also our members' interest in it. Having an actual legal document is so important. And this is one of the things that WRAP, Wellness Recovery Action Plan, I mean, it has a lot of great stuff, and yet it's not a legal document. So I'm excited to see how this rolls out.
Great, thank you. For your staff, they might find it interesting when we worked on creating the MAP toolkit and specifically the mental health supportive care plan. We looked very closely at the WRAP plan. And we also looked at psychiatric advanced directives that were used in other parts of the country. And so we made a blending of, a blending of those things so that we would have a document that was free to people to use rather than WRAP where, you had to pay and so on. So our mental health supportive care plan is very much in the same vein as that, but it is free and downloadable off of our website or through the toolkit and the training and the facilitation work that'll be going on in the peer centers. So a little more insight on that. Does anybody else have any comments or any questions about this? Well, hearing none, then Carol and Danette, Michael, those of us working on getting this together will be working to fine tune the training program, and then we'll begin that with those of you that will be trained as facilitators in late March, as Carol said, and then back into later April, we'll come back around and do the orientation for the center members. Sean suggested we do that at a successful living class immediately following when we do the MAP training, facilitators training. So we'll finish that, and then probably the following week, we'll meet with the successful living group to introduce this to the members. And at that point, we'll be ready to roll. Okay, let's see here. So thank you so much. I have to figure out how to shut off the recording and say goodbye. Bye-bye. Thanks again.
Thanks.